Greetings and salutations. I trust I find you all well. May I have the strength to accept the things I cannot change. May I have the courage to change the things that I can change. And may I have the wisdom to know the difference. We are living in an age where we are drowning in information. We are drowning in information, but we are lacking transformation. There is so much data, information, knowledge that is readily available to anyone and everyone in this realm at this moment that has been occult for a long time. And this information is creating an atmosphere where we have become frenzied, addicted to data, addicted to information, addicted to knowledge. We are gobbling and absorbing so much memory. Unfortunately, most people are lacking the wisdom of how to, first of all, discern this data and this knowledge and this information that is coming through. Drowning in information and lacking transformation. You see, information and data and knowledge is absolutely useless if we don't use it to transform, to morph, to shift, to change, to transfigure. It's just incredible how many or how much information is out there now. If you want to know about alchemy, there are 20,000 different books that speak about alchemy from different perspectives. There are 20,000 songs that sing about alchemy. There are 20,000 YouTube gurus or YouTubers who talk and share and teach their perspectives of what alchemy is. It's in TV shows, it's in cartoons, it's absolutely everywhere. And this goes for every subject of knowledge or information. It can somewhat be overwhelming because a lot of the time this information is expressed in various forms from different perspectives and different angles. And sometimes it contradicts each other or itself. But this is the nature of reality. When we lack the wisdom of truly understanding the fundamental principles of why we are here on earth, what the true objective is, why we should seek knowledge in the first place, we can either become complacent because the knowledge becomes so readily available and it no longer really has any true value, or we become overwhelmed because there is just too much knowledge. There's too much of it and we don't know what to do with it. Or we become consumed by it. It becomes like a drug. Gollum and the Ring, my precious, where we begin to become possessive of knowledge. We begin to self-proclaim ourselves as the guru, my truth. Our egos become shaped by the information. And then it becomes a demon, a possession. Knowledge can become a demon, a possessive demon. The truth is, change is the only constant. Everything must always be changing. Everything always is changing. Moment to moment, growing in the wisdom of change. Those who understand this fundamental principle, and not only understand it, but apply it apply it. Apply it and use it as part of their transformative journey on earth are the ones who are going to make it, are the ones who are going to prosper and thrive, are the ones who will not be lost in the noise, who will not lose their minds, who will remain centered and equanimous as everybody else spirals out of control around them. We're entering a stage now where many so-called gurus, many so-called enlightened people, many people who appear to be knowledgeable are going to be faced with situations that put that knowledge truly to the test, put that knowing truly to the test. If we have not put the effort to ground our knowledge into applicable, into apps inside the simulation, into applicable situations of experience, we cannot transfigure and transcend. The only way to transcend the physical and ascend the spiritual is through experiential experience. We have to experience our knowledge. We must experience our knowledge. If we don't experience our knowledge, it is just data, it is just information. It's like a robot being fed information that it itself has not experienced or has no fundamental comprehension of, because it has not yet applied it into its own evolution. Until you've experienced something yourself, it's just words. It's just data. The greatest teacher is experience. So like I said, we're entering a stage now where many shifts and changes are going to be happening in this realm that are going to force a lot of people into spaces where they will have to enact and experience their talk, where people are going to have to walk their talk. Everything we've been spelling for the last few years particularly, everything we've been spelling out and casting and teaching and preaching, all these mantras have been creating a timeline for yourself, a reality that you are going to have to face very soon. You have either created your optimal timeline based on what you have spelt out, what you have thought, what you have put into motion, what you have present yourself. It's really important that we learn to not just swallow information and knowledge and drown in it. If we're not experiencing it, or we're not being transformed by what we're saying or what we're learning, it's just data. It means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. Everyone wants to be a guru. Everyone wants to be enlightened. You're not sovereign. We've really got to be honest. We're entering an age, the age of Aquarius. We're leaving the age of Pisces, which was the age of illusion, of dreams, of faith, of belief. And we're entering the age of Aquarius, which is the age of knowing. It's the age of truth. It's the age of facts. It's the age of what is. Not what we wish, but what is. The mantra for Aquarius is I know. You can only know something that you have experienced, not something you heard, or something you read, or something you thought, or something you feel, something you have experienced yourself. And until you have experienced something, you don't know. You believe. That paradigm is ending. You either know you are sovereign or you don't. You either are or you aren't. There's no gray area. And feeling sovereign or thinking you are sovereign is not the same as being sovereign. You must be. And luckily for us, the universe is allowing an opportunity for every single one of us to start walking that path, be given the opportunity to walk that talk. Right? The only thing that stops most people is fear. Fear, fear, fear. Fear of the unknown. Fear of making mistakes. Fear of being judged. Fear of appearing to be a failure. Fear of letting go of control. Fear of not being in trust. Fear of other people. Fear of things you don't understand. Fear of spaces you have not been into just yet. When you're truly sovereign, you are free from fear. You are fearless. When you truly know that you are divinely protected, you walk your talk. Truly. Right? You walk your talk. And I'm saying this to those who are ready for the journey, because many are going to watch this and resonate with it and nod and press the like button and cheer and give a great comment and go back straight into the matrix and keep doing what they've been doing every day. Plug straight back in and make no effort to begin that process of transformation. They will look for the next video after this, the next hit. It's like cocaine. The next hit of information. We are addicted to dopamine that is induced by information, entertainment. Information and knowledge has become entertainment. What's the latest video? Where's the latest bit of data? Who's saying what? What's happening over there? Knowledge has become like a soap opera. People sit and consume and consume and consume and consume and get rush after rush after rush, hit after hit. And it makes them feel good. It lobotomizes them into taking no action because you feel as if you've done something. It feels as if you've grown or you've transcended something. But that's one very small spot. It's one section of a much larger pie. First, you must learn the information. Then you must be able to comprehend what that information is. And then you must be able to apply that information into transforming your life in all sorts of ways. Transforming yourself, your surroundings, where you live, how you live, who you live with, how you are, how you express yourself, how you see other people, how you see yourself. Everything you learn must be a piece of a puzzle that helps you to transform, to change. If you're not changing, if you're still the same as you were last week or last month or last year, you're not living. You are a robot. Robots don't change. Cyborgs don't change. Clones don't change. They keep playing the same script and the same loops over and over and over again. And most people are highly evolved clones. We appear as if we are living. We appear as if we understand or comprehend the knowledge. We're able to regurgitate it. We're able to say out these mantras and act out these actions that appear as if we are transforming or transformed. But the deeper down you look, you realize that most of these people are not actually changing. They're not actually transforming. It's very surface level. It's very artificial. It's a compliment when people say to me, Agua, you've changed. I'm like, yes, give thanks. Last week you said this week you said this. I'm like, give thanks. It shows that I'm not a clone. It shows that I'm evolving. It shows that I'm not afraid to be wrong. I'm not afraid to change course. I live moment to moment. For a lot of people, it's chaotic because clones and robots, they don't like change. They like it to be uniform, exactly the same every day, every time for eternity. The moment you put any change in, they glitch. They don't know how to handle an energy that is constantly shifting. And this is the nature of God. God is forever changing. You see it in nature. No season is ever the same. Last summer will never be the same as this summer. And no other summer will ever be the same as this summer. Every day is unique. No day will ever be exactly the same as another day. This is the nature of the living, of source code, constant change. And the more you're able to change constantly and comfortably and evolve seamlessly, regardless of your circumstances, the more alive you are. That is the ultimate secret. Everything else is noise. Once we understand this very concept, that truly living is the ability to transform, to transfigure. We are seeing this trans agenda, the flags going all over the world, right? BlackRock is pushing these transgender flags, the rainbow color. There's an esoteric meaning to that. People are stuck on the surface level of, oh, it's to do with corrupting sexuality. It's much deeper than that. The esoteric message that is being relayed is the esoteric message of transformation. It's the trans agenda. They are telling you it's time for change. Everything must change. They are putting these flags in stores, in schools, in supermarkets, on the roads and highways, in functions, in concerts, musicians. It's got nothing to do with sexuality. It's got everything to do with transformation. Granted, it's been given in an inverted way, right? The rainbow, the trans agenda that the simulation is mirroring is upside down. You've got the root color at the top, red, and the crown at the bottom, purple. They've turned it upside down. They've reversed the rainbow. So they're telling you that it's time to transform and transfigure, but they're transforming everything into the mirror opposite of what is organic, what is original. The true trans agenda is raising your chrism from the bottom, from the red to the purple. It's transforming yourself, transforming your thoughts, transforming how you express yourself, transforming how the world sees you, transforming how you interact with other people, transforming how you do and act, transforming everything about yourself, and thereby transforming everything about your world. Now, many will say that they have transcended the physical, that they are concentrating mostly on their spiritual path, their spiritual journey. They are putting most of their energy into spiritual practice. and the physical is not as important as what they're doing spiritually. This is the definition of spiritually bypassing. You see, we cannot ascend our spiritual nature until we have transcended our physical obstacles. We cannot transcend our spirit. We cannot ascend our spirit until we've transcended the physical. We must first conquer the physical in order to break free the spiritual self. The world, most people in the world have got it backwards. We seem to think that by somehow being more spiritual or doing spiritual practices will break us free from the bondage of the physical world. It doesn't work that way. It's the other way around. We must break free from the physical in order to break free or to set free the spiritual. Transcend to ascend. If you've not taken the steps in the physical carnal world to begin to break or transcend certain spells, certain loops, certain behaviors, you sure as hell are not going to break free from the spiritual bondage. If you cannot do it in the physical, which is much, much easier than the spiritual, you are not ready to ascend. It's really that simple. Many are not going to like hearing this because it means taking radical responsibility, being responsible for yourself in this physical world, and not spiritually bypassing. This is grown-up stuff. This is adult stuff. We have to take radical self-responsibility. And if we say, when we say, knowledge without experience is pointless, the experience in this physical world, the experience that we enact based on the knowledge that we have absorbed, is what we call culture. You must culture a certain way of being that allows your spirit to flourish, to break free, to grow. It's an uncomfortable journey. That's why it's called the short and narrow path. The wide path is full of people. It's easy to take the wide. The narrow path is for the few who are chosen. It's the difficult path. It's the path of self-responsibility. It's the unknown. Are you willing to be uncomfortable? Not many people have the spiritual resolve, have the physical willpower, have the resilience, have the strength to do so. And this is why it says only a few will make it. Only a few will make it. Shifting and changing. That is the mantra. Are we ready to be uncomfortable? Are we ready to take a leap of faith based on our knowledge in order to experience, which will allow us to transcend the carnal and ascend the spirit? Many people will often say, I am spiritual. You hear this all the time, the spiritual community. People saying I'm spiritual. What does that actually mean? Well, people will say it's my spiritual practices. I have all these spiritual practices. What does that even mean, to have a spiritual practice? How do you practice to be spiritual when you are a spirit? It makes no sense. It's like saying, what is your human practice? Why would you practice being a human being? You just are. Why would you practice being a spiritual being when you should just be a spiritual being? Spirituality is not something you practice. It is not something you act. It's something you should become. It's something you should be. You should be spiritual, not practice spirituality. You can only be spiritual when you are in an environment that encourages or that aids or that amplifies spiritual nature. Being out in nature, living organically, living naturally, being cultured, having a culture, having principles, having tenets, having systems in place, people around you that amplify your true, authentic spiritual nature, your tribe, those who resonate or those in resonance with your vibrational frequency. When you are living in such a cultured environment, when you've cultured a space where you can truly be spiritual, live spiritually, you no longer need to practice how to be spiritual. Like you don't need to practice how to be a human. I don't need to practice how to be a man. I just am a man. Mm. We've got to start that journey at some point. Everyone is going to be forced to have to begin that walk of living your truth, of living your true authentic self, not just speaking about it, not just preaching about it, not just reading about it, not just sharing links and documents about it, but living it. And you can only live it in the right environment. You must be cultured. You cannot do it if you're in the Babylon system. If you're plugged into the grid, it is not possible because the grid is not a natural environment for a spirit to thrive. It is an energy extraction matrix. And if you're in an energy extraction matrix, your spirit cannot ascend. So I give thanks for the New World Order. I give thanks for smart cities. I give thanks for the social credit score systems that are coming. I give thanks for the zones. I give thanks for everything that is being implemented by the New World Order because it has pushed me and forced me into a space where I must practice what I preach, where I must become real, where I must actually be and not just speak. There are many false prophets out there on the internet who are good preachers. Oh my goodness. Very eloquent people, very articulate people, very intelligent people who explain things so beautifully. Don't fall for the false prophets. The true test of a being is not what they are saying or how they are saying it. It's what they are doing. Where are they? If someone is talking about sovereignty and spirituality and being free and ascension, and they are living and plugged into the grid system, and they are buying matrix clothes and matrix food, fully independent or fully dependent on the matrix system, they are not practicing what they preach. That is what you call a charlatan, a false prophet. And now I'm not saying I'm fully detached from the grid system, far from it. May I have the strength to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. I have begun the journey of walking towards my sovereignty. I'm doing everything within my knowledge, within my power, to begin that transition. And it is a transition. It is not something that happens overnight. So I don't proclaim to be completely disconnected from the Babylon system, there are still many things that I rely on in the system, including this platform where I'm sharing this information with you, including money, dealing with currency in the form of money, even food, fuel. But here's the difference. I've begun that journey, and constantly every day doing more and more to break free from that system. I am applying my knowledge into practice. I am living my word. I am the living word of truth, along with my brothers and sisters here at Pineal and many others around the world who are doing the same. Don't get mad at me. I'm just a messenger. Time 144. Emit 432.
Not everyone is in the same operating system. Not everyone has chosen the same life path. And it's okay. But you do have a choice. You have a choice to claim your sovereign embodiment and to at least at the end of the day, when you put your head on that pillow, let it be your life that you lived. And find out what is your way of being in the world. What is it that you love? What is it that makes you feel connected? What is valuable to you? What do you enjoy? Do that. You first.
This is really timeless music. Good music just never gets old. It keeps coming back, like the days of the week. Do you see? Do you see what I see? Do you see it? Do you see what I see? Do you see it? Do you see what I see? Open your third eye, tell me what you see. Kingdom of Pineal, third eye anomaly. Do you see? Do you see what I see? Do you see it? Do you see what I see? Monday is the moon day. Access Mundi, life is a movie. Screening Fundi, Maserati Tuesday. Kamikaze, Mars is the X-ray, planet of the screenplay. Hamunra, welcome to the Gamma Ray. Welcome to the Wednesday, home of the Buddha. Trouble Judah, on a Thursday. I'm the author, I'm a author, Marvel the actor, script and director.